last class we had couldn't do the recording properly. The sound was lost. There's a technical glitch. So I had an option of either re-recording the whole thing again, which I thought would be too superfluous, or summarizing it in a few minutes before I go ahead with today's verses. So I consulted with a couple of students. I took the second option. Okay. So last time basically we saw Arjuna's question where he said Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha, etc. What are the lakshanas, the indications, the signs of a wise person? How does he function, etc. Having said that much, okay, having asked that, what are the signs of a wise person? No sign, no uniform. Okay, yeah, I'm wearing the robes of a sannyasi, but every wise person is not a sannyasi, and every sannyasi may be on the way to becoming a wise person, but not yet wise. Given that condition, Krishna talks about the heart of a wise person. What is the heart like? Okay, so he says, Prajahati yada kaman. One who jahati is to give up. Prajahati prakarshena jahati iti. Prakarshena meaning in a special manner. What is this? How do you give up in a special manner? You grow out of it. What have you grown out of? Sarvan manogatan kaman. All desires which come in the mind. What do you mean come in the mind? Anyway, all desires come in the mind. Yeah. But some desire, like the desire to live, the hunger and thirst, these are not emotion driven desires. These are because the body has to live. Therefore, those desires are left out. Those are your physical needs. They are left out of the picture. What desires mentally? What is a desire? Gaining which I will be happy, not gaining which I will be unhappy. That's the desire. That is he has grown out of. Why? Atmanyeva atmana tushtaha. Happy by himself. Happy by himself. Why? He has discovered he is nothing but Ananda. Once you have discovered you are nothing but Ananda, and that is a fact of your life, then this is a natural state for you. Sthita prajnaha tada uchate. Such a person is a sthita prajnaha, who is free from any desire. But some wise people also have desires. Of course. Non-binding desires. Non-binding desires. A desire which, fulfilled or not, doesn't make a big deal. Doesn't make a big deal. It's okay. Either way, it's all right. Fine. Like how you also have a desire like that. You want to go for a walk, and as you are leaving, planning to leave the house, your friend walks in. Hey, where are you going out? No, just come, please sit. Let's have a chat. No big deal. Why? It was just one of those things that you had a desire. Oh, okay, let me stretch my legs a bit. It didn't matter. Either way, it didn't matter to you. So, those type of desires. So, the wise person has reduced the whole world into that level. The desires are only that much. Okay? Therefore, that type of desire, yes, everyone will have it, depending upon your background. The choice shows there is a desire. You ask a North Indian Mahatma, Maharaji, चाय पिएगा क्या दूध पिएगा? कॉफ़ी पिएगा क्या दूध पिएगा? कॉफ़ी तो कड़वा है, मलाई मार के दूध तो बहुत अच्छा है. You will naturally choose the milk. 90% of them will choose that milk. You ask a South Indian man, especially if he is from Tamil Nadu, समझिए, you like coffee, or will you have milk? What to do with milk? Give me coffee. Background based desires, non-binding. समझिए, there is no coffee today. Doesn't matter. Tea? No tea also. Water? Good enough. Good enough. Therefore, these are non-binding desires. I can't do like that. Even tea, coffee for me, my hands and legs don't work without tea and coffee. Then it has become a binding desire. Even though it's small, doesn't make a big deal. The desire is binding. Whereas, if it doesn't matter either way, it is not binding. So for the wise person, no desire is binding. No desire is binding. Yes, desire is not binding. From his background, etc. That doesn't matter. Those things doesn't matter. Yeah. My teacher used to love watching cricket. But that doesn't mean he'll be watching cricket whole day and not talking to people or handling issues involved. No. If he's free, he'll watch. If he's not free, he'll do other things. Simple as that. Okay. Then going ahead, he says, Dukkheshu anuvikna manaha sukheshu vigata spruha. Dukkheshu, in things, in situations which are sorrowful, where he is responding empathetically to the sorrow around him. Anuvikna manaha, inside is calm and peaceful. He goes to a place where a loved one has died. He's not going to go about like a grinning gorilla and say, what is death, what is bad? Idiot. He's not going to be an idiot. He'll empathize with the grief of the people around. Help them handle that grief as well. Why? Because inside is calm and peaceful. Empathetic, but calm and peaceful. Sukheshu vigata spruha, or a happy, joyful thing. A kid's first birthday. He'll go play with the kids, jump and dance with the kids. Why? Because the kids enjoy that. He's not going to sit down. I'm Mahatma. Kids can play. I will be neutral observer. Of course not. He'll go, he'll play with the kids, put the cake on their face also if necessary. All that he will do. But Vigata Spruha is not caught up. He's not emotionally entangled in the whole thing. Not emotionally entangled. Yeah. Emotionally independent. He will do. He will empathize. He can empathize with sorrow. He can empathize with the joy that is there. Both. And be empathetically sorrowful or joyful as necessary. Yeah. Playful, joyful, whatever. But inside. Calm, peaceful. Anandoham. Okay. Vita raga bhaya krodha. Vita, free from what? Raga. Longings. Without that I am not happy. Bhayam, fear. What is there to be afraid of? I alone am there. I am the only reality that is there. Yeah. Tomorrow evening yoga lectures. I am going to handle. I handled from fear to courage last time. Now from courage to fearlessness this Sunday. Okay. The bhayam is gone. Because there is nothing other than me to be afraid of. What is there? I am the only reality. Everything else does not have the same degree of reality as me consciousness. Therefore, what is there to be afraid of? Bhaya, gone. Krodha, anger. What is there to be angry about? When raga is not there, where is anger coming from? Yeah, as I said, in cases like some Mahatmas getting angry, etc., that is momentary, habitual. It is not a problem. It's just because they are not broken the pattern of that mind to be angry. My guru, grand guru, Swami Chinmayanji was a classical example. He was like a volcano that will erupt, and next moment he is fine. Others are not, but he is fine. Okay, he is fine. He erupt, so big deal. Just a habit that he didn't bother to break. That's all. But no, he wasn't carried in his heart. It's over. Once he said down, everything is fine. Vita raga bhaya krodha sthitadihi muni ichchate. Such a person whose mind is at peace, whose knowledge is working in him. Munihi iti uchchate sthitadi. Such a muni, sthitadi iti uchchate. Such a mananashilavan. Such a person who has done this knowledge. He is of clear-cut knowledge, clear wisdom, steady wisdom, as you say. Yas sarvatra anapisneha tattat prapya shubhashubham nabhinandati nadveshti tasya prajna pratishtitaha. Yas sarvatra anapisneha, not emotionally entangled. Loves everybody, okay? Loves everyone, no issues. Of course, you love people, you love. Ananda in a relationship is nothing but love, unconditional, non-demanding love. How can you not be loving? But there is no emotional dependency there. There is care, there is affection, etc., but no dependency. In fact, if anybody gets dependent on him, he'll help that person become independent. How long will he teach? Until the student doesn't need him anymore. The student has understood what he knows. What the teacher knows, the student is equally clear. And then you become independent of me. Great. In fact, he'll say one problem gone. Okay, joking. Not that the student is a problem. No, the student has a problem, which out of love and compassion you will take care of. Okay. Therefore, yes, sir, but at the same time, yes, sarvatra anabhisneha. Tat tat prapya shubham ashubham. Something conducive or unconducive things happen. Something that is works well for you happens, good situation, or a situation which is problematic. Whatever happens, na abhinandati. Hey, this is good, great, it happened like that. Na abhinandati. He is not in the seventh heaven of delight. He is happy, of course. No. Or na dveshti. I'm sure this happened. I hate this. Na dvesh. It happened. Part of karma. Let it be. It's okay. Na dveshti. Why? Am ananda. Ananda can go through a pleasant situation. Ananda can go through an unpleasant situation. But all the time, anandaha. Such a person, tasya prajna pratishtita. With this, we have summed up what we did last time. There are no questions. We will go ahead with what we have to do this class. Okay.